Still to come on the morning show, it's a topic many are afraid to talk about, child abuse, but it's something that needs to be addressed, especially in our community. Jim Clark from Daniel joins us after the break to discuss the warning signs and how we can all help.
And you know, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. For almost 30 years now, the government and activists have used April as a time to try and raise awareness about child abuse and take steps to prevent it. And who better to have on the morning show to talk about this than Jim Clark from Daniel, CEO and president of Daniel.
Thank you.
You think child abuse, you think of the violence, but it's also a lot of neglect, right?
It's a lot of neglect, absolutely. In fact, we're fortunate across the country that child abuse is actually decreasing. Unfortunately, though, 1 in 97 children will be abused. And here locally, it's important to know, if you took at all the stats in terms of the abuse reports, then actually every hour of every day there is a child who is being abused and neglected. Now, federal government statistics suggest that 80% of this is really by the parents, and about 6.5% is from some known relative. But the reality is it still exists. And if we don't deal with it or assist the child, the likelihood of depression or them repeating the pattern is just almost 90%. So that's another reason why they intervene.
And the symptoms, I mean, there are ways to tell when a child is being abused somehow, right, Jim?
Yes, there are. There are some of the common things are unexplained injuries. Children often, you know, you don't fall down and get a black eye, or you don't get a burn from falling down. Traditionally, we know change in behavior really suggests something. It's something to pay attention to. Also, we'll see kids sometimes doing poorly in school. That will tell us or trigger something. And the task, sometimes if children can be neglectful, which is another form of abuse, you know, such as body odor or hygiene, or being out during the day or on a cold day without inadequate clothing.
You said the first thing I want to go back to, the good news, is that you said the numbers seem to be going down a little bit. Do we know why? Is it because maybe social networking, because people are more involved? Do we know why the numbers may be going down?
Several reasons. Number one, there is a movement in terms of trying to inform the public. Your station is doing a great thing by telling people about the signs.
Education.
Education, that's out there. In addition to that, there are more services for families. A child necessarily isn't removed from the home if they are abused or neglected. Department of Children and Families has several services that they'll assist with, everything from parenting classes all the way to daycare classes or daycare assistance. So there are intervention activities that are going on. But the most important thing is, if people suspect abuse, they should really get involved.
Yeah, and what do you do? When you see those symptoms and you suspect it's going on, what's the first thing to do?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's a hotline, the Abuse Registry Hotline, which is 1-800-96-ADOPT. And that is operational 24 hours a day. And one of the things that people need to know, too, just because you make a complaint, you will not be informed. It's an anonymous complaint. You're going to be able to give the party the information, and then an investigation will actually be done. And then, again, a thorough investigation doesn't necessarily mean that the children are going to be abused. The most important thing is understanding that do something. If you suspect it, it's always good to make a call.
All right, 1-800-96-ABUSE. Jim, great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.